wrestling gods have spoken. 9 words. The Andre the Giant over the top battle royal. So it is a fact that Triple H has announced this. We're not getting it at Mania. So he's partially answering my beg and plead. And we're getting it at SmackDown Mania is what I'm calling it. So thank you, H. Speaking of thank yous, I want to thank you, our listeners. We are now on episode 27. And I just want to say it is amazing to do what I love here with these 2 amazing guys next to me. So with that being said, Eshaun, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Rhodesia, how are you?
I'm pumped. This is WrestleMania week. I got Andre the Giant over the top battle royal match going on. How about you, Matt?
I don't even know who you are. Can you tell us who you are before you throw it to me and Eshaun? You were so excited about this Memorial Battle Royal. You popped as if The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Andre the Giant came back from the dead himself to make this announcement when they announced it on the past Friday. So I just need, who are you? Who are you?
I don't even know anymore. I have to look at my notes here. My name is Rhodesia, and I'm here with Eshaun and Matt. Matt, how are you doing today?
That is ridiculous. It is WrestleMania week. Rhodesia said it. I'm on cloud 9. Of course, we are leaving in approximately 39 hours, 40 hours, something right about that, to get on the plane to hit L.A., rock Los Angeles out. Eshaun will be on the home court holding it down for us here while we go have fun, sightsee, connect, do all that kind of good stuff. So it is on and popping. This is, of course, your guys' WrestleMania preview and prediction show. We're going to do way more on this episode than just kind of go over the matches on WrestleMania. We're going to kind of throw in some other topics and questions all surrounding WrestleMania, though. So this is an all WrestleMania type podcast. You heard Rhodesia say it. It is episode 27 of these things, TFW podcast. We're going to get into this thing. Rhodesia, thank you for getting the pod going. You was super excited. I said, hey, you know what? What the hell?
You're welcome.
Give it to her. Let her rock it out. And if you guys really liked her intro, let us know. Maybe she can like intro this thing every time. Or I think what we should do is we should have Eshaun intro the pod. When Cody loses, that's what I think we should do that. Next week, when Cody loses
Eshaun,
in front of 65,000 people.
Already, Eshaun.
But they're already claiming 75. We see the real numbers. But it's 65,000. Eshaun is going to come in here, intro the pod. I may lay out the entire show. I may just be the one just hit all the sound effects and just keep everything going and not do anything. I think that's coming. We'll talk about that in the prediction part of the episode. Let's start, though, with, we talked about it last few weeks, and then we touched on it last week. WrestleMania, of course, for me, this is like the Super Bowl of wrestling. This is like Christmas week for wrestling fans. If you guys have never been to a WrestleMania, of course you need to go to WrestleMania, but say if you were just not the biggest WWE fan in the world, still go to the city. The 3 of us can vouch that you will have an incredible time. You will be exhausted if you try to do everything that there is to do. It's impossible. But from the indie shows that they have, from the conventions that they have, of course, to the WWE style events that they have for that particular week, more than worth it. They will be in Philadelphia next year. So if you guys are not going this year and you're not just a major WWE fan, if you can afford to, if you can take time off work or whatever you got going on, I would highly suggest it because it is like Christmas week for any type of wrestling fan. The entire city is taken over by wrestling fans. So what I wanted to start with, and I think somebody may have actually sent this question in, so my apologies if you did. Hit me up and let me know, and I'll shout you out in the next podcast. But let's say we've all been to numerous WrestleManias. What was your best in-person WrestleMania memory? It could be something related to the actual show itself. It could be maybe another show you went to or another event or somebody you may have met. Just overall, if you kind of look back and say, man, that was like the best WrestleMania weekend memory that I have, what would that be? Rhodesia, let's start with you. What was yours?
So I'm still over here like super pumped and hype over here. So I'm going to try to gather myself here and kind of talk about kind of my favorite memory. It's going to be March 17th, 2002, WrestleMania 18, which was supposed to have been my senior spring break trip, but my senior class didn't figure it all out, so I went to WrestleMania instead. And my favorite memory, which is weird because I'm saying this favorite, was the Icon versus Icon, The Rock versus Hogan. And for me, why I say this is my favorite, one, it's my first WrestleMania, so I loved it. But two, it was so intense. Like the TV, you couldn't quite get the full feeling of, or the volume of excitement and how loud it was there. And just going through those emotions of, me being a huge Rock fan. And then throughout the match, from the beginning of the match, when everybody just turned on The Rock. Now, I know he had got a few boos before that, but like it was nothing like this. Like the boos were deafening, and they turned on him and started cheering Hogan. And the reason why it's my favorite memory is because, again, being a wrestling fan, although I was mad that Rocky was booed, it was something that was electric about these people saying, no, but this Hogan was why I loved wrestling and why I fell in love with wrestling in the beginning. And I just felt that energy. So just going back, being my first WrestleMania, and my favorite moment would be that Icon versus Icon, kind of the stare down and them looking, side to side. You see it. It's on all the shirts. It's there, all the playbacks of WrestleMania. That probably is my favorite WrestleMania moment, just to be in witness of that and kind of just experience that.
That's awesome. You got to experience that because that was definitely a great moment that I watched on TV. But for me, I haven't been to as many WrestleManias as the Matt and Rhodesia has been. I think I've only been to 2, and that's by choice. But they were a really amazing experience. The WrestleMania weekend was phenomenal, man. I remember the first one I went to, I think it was 2015. Just not just the event, but as Matt talked about earlier, it was just everything that surrounded the event. It just was a great time. And, honestly, and another big part of me, because I'm a sappy guy. I'm not really emotional about a lot of things. But I'm emotional when it comes to family. I got to spend that weekend with Rhodesia, Matt, their awesome son, who's a little kid back in the day. Hey, if you guys ever get to see their son, this dude is like 7 foot, about to play football. Like he's like 40 years old or something like that, man. Like I hadn't seen him for a while, like because of the pandemic. I remember him being like this little small kid that like came up to like my chest, had like this little. I saw him like after the pandemic. This is a grown man, y'all. But just spending time with them, my beautiful wife. It is an awesome time to be with friends and family, be around other wrestling fans. But I want to say probably my favorite memory was I think it was WrestleMania in 2016. Went to Florida. Matt and Rhodesia didn't get to this show with me, but I got to go see the Click. And I can't remember where it was, but this is a Click. It was Shawn Michaels. It was Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, God rest his soul, Sean Waltman. Triple H wasn't there, but it was those 4. And that was the closest I've gotten to seeing my wrestling idol, Shawn Michaels, in person. I was like in the second row. Like I got to see him. I think I smelt him a little bit and just listening to them tell.
You felt that.
Oh, yeah.
Be a little weirdo for that one.
Right. Hey, look, you know what? It's crazy that you are that big of Shawn, and he blocked us on Twitter. Never said anything about Shawn Michaels. Never said anything negative about NXT. From what I heard, there's like an auto block software that some people use where if you interact with like any account that they have blocked, you are automatically blocked. Shawn, if you hear this, listen to this man. He just talked about how you are one of his GOATs, if not the GOAT, and you have our Twitter account blocked. Please unblock us so I can shout you out this weekend and tell you hopefully how great NXT TakeOver Stand Deliver is. And that's FNW, Shawn. So I'm sure you got hundreds and probably thousands of accounts locked. Just lock us. Unlock us. We don't care about nobody else. Unlock us. I'm sorry.
That'd be interesting.
He loves how you smell.
Hey, that would be interesting because I'm not blocked. So I don't know. But digressing with that.
Man. Hey, if you're not blocked, hit him up. Let him know. Please. Yeah.
I don't want to get blocked. I think that'll hurt my soul. But, that was just amazing. Listen to him tell the stories. And the stories I had heard, they wouldn't let us.
So what was it? Was that like a one-man show? Kind of a thing?
No, not one man because they were all there and they were all sharing the stage together. So I don't remember the specifics. If I have all the pictures. I remember, I don't know if Kevin Nash was legit like giving me the grim dog, but I didn't know that you couldn't take pictures. I took a couple pictures right in the very beginning, and he was sending some mean shots like my way. I don't know if he was looking at me or not, but anyway, that was an awesome experience for me, guys.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's super cool. I think mine was probably my favorite memory of all time on Mania week was, I think it was New York or New Jersey, the first Mania they had in New Jersey. So I guess that was 29. I'm sure it was New Jersey.
That's when I met Lita.
At Access. And I was able to get like this backstage package. So you were able to go backstage and legit everything was set up. They had been there for the week, so the arena was set up as they're running Raw Monday and things of that nature. And I just remember being able to go like in wardrobe, being able to go where they cut promos, Vince's office, which I don't remember. I can't remember if Vince's office was closed or not, but you see the signs. They have the signs up. You could see where they like tape the pre-tape promos in the locker room, quote unquote. It was just like the coolest thing that any wrestling fan could imagine. And then you get to walk through Gorilla. Yep, we took photos on the actual stage itself. You got to walk down the aisle. That was just like one of the coolest moments like in history. So anything outside of wrestling matches and WrestleMania, that was my number one favorite memory. If I had to talk about Mania itself, though, I knew you were going to go Rock Hogan, so I didn't do that one. That's probably number one for sure. But I would say
You turned on The Rock, too, just so you know. Everybody turned on The Rock
it was
except
like,
for me.
yeah, I wish I knew what I knew about Hogan back then. I wish I knew,
Right.
Whatever. But mine was, like, it was between, like, two things. It was Mania 28, when it was Triple H and Undertaker and Hell in a Cell. And if anybody's been listening to this pod long enough, you know I am a stickler and fanatic for production, for lights, for just the entire thing that puts everything together. And right before that match, the cage starts to come down. And they put on the big screen, End of an Era, and then they had like a theme song playing. And it blew me away because I just remember sitting there watching like, damn, this is it. Like, this is the last time we're going to see him. And Eshaun was a special guest referee, so I'm like, this could be the last time we see the three of them share a ring together. And just to see the cell come down with the music, I just thought that was incredible. The one that probably tied with that was Seth cashing in at 31.
Yep. I thought you was going to pick that one. That's why I didn't go with that. But I forgot about
Seth
the
cashing
end of
in
the
at
era.
31. Yeah. And then if I had to do like the last one, it would be Mania 33 with the Hardy Boys coming back. And I think you were at that one too, right?
Yeah, no doubt. That was the Florida show.
Okay, yep. That one.
Okay.
And we kind of
actually, weren't we in the concession stand when they first?
You were. I think
I was. Okay, you weren't. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was.
And I remember,
I'm waiting in line. I was like, what
Man.
the? And everybody was in the concession. Everybody just flew out of line, bro.
Bet. Yep.
Everybody just flew out.
Oh, snaps. This is when they had just finished their deal with like TNA or something like that,
ROH.
right? It was like they just had a ladder match
They
the night
they
before.
worked the ladder match
Over
the
the
night
weekend.
before.
Yeah, the night before.
Yep.
And they came, yep,
With the
okay, I
Bucks.
remember that, yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I just remember that reaction was one of the best reactions I heard live.
Yeah.
Ever. So those are really cool. That's awesome how we kind of all had something different. So now we kind of fast forward to this weekend. Of course, you won't be in Los Angeles, but there is a ton to still sink your teeth into this week. What are you guys most looking forward to this weekend? It doesn't even have to be WWE related. So if it's, someone ROH or something else, of course, feel free to bring it up. But what are you guys most looking forward to this weekend?
This is about to be a complete cop-out, but it is purely just the energy of the whole weekend. For those, you had already said it, so you stole my thunder. If you can get to WrestleMania or even just get to the town that WrestleMania is in, that week is just so electrifying. Whether it's an indie show that you're going to, WrestleCon you're going to, actual WrestleMania that you're going to, it is an energy. The moment you get off that airplane and you're in that airport and you see all of the promotion and the whole town is pretty much have flags and signs up of all WrestleMania. The energy is just electrifying. It's definitely a life list of mine, or what I call the bucket list. So for me, it's purely just the entire weekend being there, feeding off the energy of wrestling fans, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, you're right about the energy. Yeah, it can't. You got to be there to kind of feel it. For me, I'm watching at home, but I just really want to see that Cody in that Roman match. I'm just full disclosure. Like I have, I saw the 2015 show, the 2016 show, but that's kind of around the time where I was really starting to fall out of love with WWE. It was just, for me, I had never been to a Mania, so that was kind of a bucket list type of thing, and the experience can never be overstated. It's definitely an experience to be at a Mania, to be around those fans and go to those events. It's definitely an experience that you got to see. But this is the first time that I can remember in recent memory that I'm really, really excited for WrestleMania itself and its main event. I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. I have been for a long time. I've been rooting for him. And, he's the king of wrestling right now. And then also Cody Rhodes is, make no mistake, I'm a big, super huge Cody Rhodes fan. I have been from the very start. So to see somebody I've been rooting for since they started with the company and been in wrestling to wrestle to my opinion, the best wrestler in the world, Roman Reigns. I am so super invested in this match, and I haven't been this invested in a main event of a pay-per-view or PLE, God, in about 10 years. So for me, guys, I'm really, really, really interested in seeing this match.
And the crazy thing about all that, what you said, which I completely agree with, just the hype of Mania in terms of being excited for this show. The crazy thing is, if you kind of think about, we did 2 weeks ago, we did Sugar or Shit. And I think the majority of the matches we gave thumbs down to when it came to the promotion. Had nothing to do with when they get into that ring, what we can expect. It was only, hey, how did they set up these matches? The majority of them, I think we were like, nah, this isn't it. And we are all still that excited for this show. I think that speaks to, I said it last week, I don't think they sabotaged the build, but maybe it truly was. They knew everybody is so locked in on the top 2 or 3 matches that we can get away with not giving away too much real estate in terms of story on the other matches. So maybe that's it, but I agree, of course, with the actual show itself. We'll get to the predictions here in a moment. For me, what I'm most looking forward to this weekend, being in LA, it's like 50-50, half and half. One is seeing and meeting as many people as possible, which I think is going to be fantastic. We're going to do Wale Mania on Thursday. I know a lot of our Twitter followers that we interact with and engage with will be at Wale Mania, so that is going to be super cool. And, of course, going to the other shows, hopefully to see a lot of you guys out there. And then the other part, it really isn't even for me. We're going with my cousin. He's coming with us. Shout out to Dwayne. He listens to the pod. He actually was at the second WrestleMania we've all went to. So Rhodesia and I went to 18, which was Rock and Hogan. And then we hadn't been to another WrestleMania until The Rock came back and hosted Mania 27 in Atlanta. And Dwayne lives in Atlanta, so we flew down there, spent the weekend with him. He hasn't been to a WrestleMania since. He really hasn't been to, I don't think, any wrestling shows really since. So just to be able to see him, who has been a lifelong wrestling fan, to see now what WrestleMania is compared to when he went, 12 years ago, I just think it's going to be super, super cool. So those are the 2 things that I'm most looking forward to. We get to Saturday night. Time for us to talk about some predictions for this show. Eshaun, you hit on it. I think that we'll talk about where we think this show is going to land after we do this. We're going to say, hey, where do we think when the show is all said and done, what is this going to look like in terms of tops? Is it going to be a top 5 WrestleMania of all time, top 10, top 20, top 25? We're going to pick kind of where we think it's going to be at. But looking at these matches, this may be full of hyperbole. I don't see a match on this card that shouldn't be at least very solid.
And we talking about like technically like wrestling or
I'm
entertaining
talking
or
when that
both
match
or
is
anything.
over.
Got it.
We are going to be like, that was cool at the very least. It's not going to be, damn, why was this match on the card? It was not, man, that was a waste of time. Man, they put this on instead of this. I think all of these matches are going to deliver in some form or fashion. And this is what I was expecting and hoping when Triple H got the book. last August, I kept saying that was why I was really excited to go to this Mania. I'm like, this is Triple H's first Mania under his creative. Now, who knows how much Vince has say right now. But back then, it was, okay, he's going to put his best foot forward and make sure this is one of the best WrestleManias of all time because he's head of creative. Looking at just the matches, I would say this is one of the strongest lineups we've had in a very, very long time. Before we kind of go match by match, what do you guys think about that? Would you guys say this is one of the strongest matches? I know, E, you said that you are more excited than you have been for probably any pay-per-view in 10 years because we have Cody and Roman, which for the first time since probably, I can't remember when the last time we had a WrestleMania main event match that we didn't know who was going to win going into it.
I think we kind of know now, though. I'm still against it, but I think we know now.
Solo walked so Roman can run. I'll explain that when we get to that part of
Got it.
the show.
Real quick, I think you just asked a question as far as what kind of the card top to bottom or bottom to top. There was one match that kind of I'm like, whatever. Okay, I'll probably go drink something or go grab a drink at that time. But they added a new, and this might be the first one we actually talk about. They added on 2 new people that actually made that match a lot more interesting. So overall, yeah, card again for my pocketbook or for your pocketbook. WrestleMania being in 2 nights, that's tough because that's 2 different price points for each night. But I'm so happy this lineup is this way and it's split in half. It's going to make, again, just to show that much better because you're going to be able to give your all to all the matches that you care for because it is not a 7-hour show. But the one match I was like I'm actually kind of excited because of who they announced as the final tag. Okay.
Well, you're probably talking about the women's tag match, correct? All right.
That is correct.
Then let's get into that. Yep, let's get into that then. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya. Man, I have such a problem saying Raquel Rodriguez. I always want to say Gonzalez from NXT.
Because she was Gonzalez, I think, name. Right? Yeah, she was, yeah.
Yeah, now it's like Rodriguez. Yeah. Like, okay, Raquel Rodriguez versus Natty and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna, who are the 2 they added to the match, and Chelsea and Sonya Deville, who they added last night. So we had Shayna and Ronda added Friday, and then we had Chelsea and Sonya added on Raw yesterday. Fatal 4-way tag match. Rhodesia, of course, as always, with the women. You go first. Who do you have winning?
I want to say, though, I'm so happy that Chelsea and Sonya is in this match. I think they just brought a whole new element of excitement to the match. I don't think they're going to go over. I'll be honest with you. I'm so confused on just how everything is going. I think I saw something that Raquel is going to get a push after Mania. Again, I don't know how true that is. So just based off of her prediction, I'm going to say Liv and Raquel is going to go over. But I'm so happy they brought in Chelsea and Sonya.
I'm going with Ronda and Shayna winning.
Oh,
I think we're going to get a tag team run with them as champions.
You think this kind of sets that up?
Absolutely.
Okay. I was going to try to be different just to be different. I'm not. I'm going to go Liv and Raquel. And I'm only going Liv and Raquel because I think Liv deserves a WrestleMania-like moment for the year that she's had. She had a really strong year. So I do agree, though, Ronda and Shayna. I think they're going to be a pretty big deal coming out of Mania, but give me Liv and Raquel out of this one.
Because you guys think about it, you guys think about it, after you got Backlash Mania coming out of this, it'd be a nice match. Becky and Lita versus Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. So what are you guys giving this pre-match? You giving this match thumbs up, thumbs down? When the match is over, are you going to say, yep, that was a thumbs up, or that was a thumbs down?
I was going to say thumbs down, but when they added in Chelsea and Sonya, I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a meh. I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle.
He said, yeah.
Because I don't think you're going to be in the match long enough to kind of add much personality, and they're both fine wrestlers, but.
I'm going to say they're going to do some type of fun spot in there where, okay, it's cool. thumbs up. And this is the other part about being there live. And I'm never that person where it's like, hey, just take what they give you. You know, don't complain about anything. Just take what they give you. But WrestleMania is kind of one of those things where a match could like be really bad on TV, and it's great in person. And it was great in person because, because it was a super cool entrance, right? So you're on the high of the entrance, or it was, you know, something in the actual, you know, venue or stadium itself during the match that may have happened. So you kind of get lost in being there in the environment opposed to the match itself. But the match itself, I'm going to say, we're going to walk away from and say, okay, that was cool. I think this is one of those that's cool matches. Let's go to the second one that they added. Fatal 4-way tag match for the men. E, I'll start with you. You got Braun and Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
Man, I'm hoping that that somehow we get a Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano added to this match and they win it. Because if that doesn't happen, I'm not interested in this match.
So you won't be interested in this match.
It's gonna be hibachi time. Hibachi time.
So then you go on thumbs down, and so who do you have winning?
Let's go with I don't know, man. Let's go with Ricochet and Braun, and then this will lead to their eventual breakup after they lose to whoever.
Okay.
I'm flipping the script. I'm going with the Viking experience. No. Viking Raiders. I'm going with Viking Raiders on this one. Why?
You're not thinking about that, right?
Oh.
That's exactly what I think
Viking
about.
Raiders.
The Viking experience, the Viking Raiders. when they stop being War Machine, and of course we get why you can't be War Machine on a PG product, it has not been right ever since for them.
It's going to be the Viking Raiders. They're winning. They're going over. And never mind. I have a hot take later on.
About this match?
Yep.
Oh, just say it.
Give it to us now. Yeah.
This has a potential to steal the show.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you're going thumbs up.
I'm going thumbs. Yep, for sure.
They actually did more than I thought they was and maybe should have on Raw. That tag match was pretty exciting, and they did some spots where I'm like, you could have saved that for Mania. But then I thought about it, and there were some people in that match that didn't get a highlight, namely Ricochet. He didn't do really anything in that match, and I was like, oh, his spot is going to be at Mania. So
but everybody,
for me, it's
all
between
of these people are amazing. Like, they're all great wrestlers. I mean,
this one's going to be a good
sorry.
one. I'm absolutely going thumbs up on this one. And I'm going to go. So E went Braun and Ricochet. You went Viking Raiders. Man. Let's go Alpha Academy. Just for the hits and giggles of it. Yeah, I don't think the Profits win. They need to be either. Yeah, I think they need to be now slowing down so we can separate. I don't need a storyline between the two of them. I don't need one going heel and all that. I think it's cool if they just kind of still be cool the way the New Day was. So I don't think they need it. E, I like your call about Braun and Ricochet winning because they got to break up eventually. Yeah. Like even the tag, I kind of don't understand it. Still, they're still together. Yeah, like it's still together.
Still don't like them as a tag team.
So maybe something happens with the male models with Otis, and something happens there. Let's take them. What the hell?
And I'm writing all of our answers down too. I like to see it.
Okay. Perfect. Well, if we're doing that, then I'm gonna actually like lock in a little bit more. I was kind of just throwing some things out there, but I'm gonna lock in. I'm still gonna stick with Alpha Academy.
Lock in.
All right. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. Before we kind of go and throw it to you, Rhodesia, one thing I do want to highlight is I give WWE an A for effort on Raw this past Monday. Not an A for execution, because some of these stories were are a little too far gone to make it up for one show. But anything that needed a push, needed some fire added to it, they attempted to do it last night. And I think, I haven't gone through and looked at this entire card, but I want to say every single match was addressed on Raw, which it was actually. I can't remember the last time that's ever happened on a Go Home Raw show in a very long time. We've all seen it where like the Go Home Raw show would hit and we'd be like, do they remember their matches that they booked for Sunday? Because they didn't address it. That wasn't the case yesterday. So shout out to them. I thought that was really, really cool. But women's match, Damage Control versus Legends and the man Becky Lynch. Rhodesia, what you got?
They're going to retain. I think they're going to bring it back at Backlash.
Who's
Mania.
they? Pronouns, pal.
So sorry. Becky Lynch and Lita. I think the Trish thing, everyone knows. Everyone
You
feels
said they're
that
going to
Trish is
retain.
just
This
a heel.
match isn't for the women's tag titles.
I'm tripping. So sorry.
See, this is
You
what
gotta do
happens when
better.
you don't
Yeah.
watch wrestling.
Yeah.
You gotta do
I
better.
tell
All
Rhodesia
right.
every single week. Now we got to peek behind the curtain.
Sorry.
He's trying to come out here and tell
Especially
you, I didn't watch. I fast forward through it. I respect Eshaun for telling us he fast forward through it and he ain't watch. Rhodesia, on the other hand, will act like she watches, and she don't watch. She's not watching.
And
then
it's
she
the
gets on
women's
here and
wrestling
then-
stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well,
And she gets
to
on
be
here
fair-
represent for the
and
women.
says that they're going to
Wait,
retain.
to be
They're
fair-
absolutely going to retain
to
because
be-
the belts aren't on the line. So you're
To
right, I
be
guess,
fair,
in that
though,
aspect.
To be fair, I've always said that I didn't care about this combination. I've always said that. So to be fair there.
You're
but
the
Lita-
woman voice. You're the woman voice on the TFW pod, and you can't even take the time to do the proper research and watching the women to have valid points about the match. That's sad.
That's a little bit much. Come
I
on,
think that's
stop
unacceptable.
it. That's a.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's
a little
absolutely
bit much.
unacceptable.
That's a little bit much. I think that Trish, Lita, and Becky is gonna win. I think you're a
You
little
were
bit too
more
dramatic
excited
right
about
now.
the Andre Memorial Battle Royal.
I
It's
am.
not even happening on
I am.
WrestleMania.
But it's
than
at
the
SmackDown
women
Mania.
Who
It's
have
SmackDown
busted
Mania.
their hump for the entire year to put a
No, hold on.
smile on
Wait,
our
wait.
faces.
No. Lita and
And
Trish
you
has
can't
not
even
worked
remember-
the entire year busting their hump.
that's a-
Now you
that's a
give
tough
you give
pill
that to
swallow.
Becky. You give it to
I think
Damage
that's rough.
Control. Absolutely.
Hmm.
But that comment you just said was flawed. Lita and
Unacceptable.
Trish didn't come around until a couple months ago. That wasn't the whole year.
Acceptable. You know what I
Anyway,
think about that?
Yeah.
That's to
you know what I think about you?
Boo boo.
Wow.
That was my sound. That's my sound effect.
E, please save us before she says something about whatever. Do better, Rhodesia. Do better.
Yeah, you definitely. You gotta represent for these women.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with the faces. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
I went with the Becky and the Legends. Because I think ultimately we're gonna get to, and we should get to. I think we're gonna get to Lita and Becky. They gotta drop those titles. I think they're gonna drop the titles to Shayna and her name's escaping me right
Ronda?
now.
Ronda,
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda.
My sister Rondi. Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna get to,
Your black
and I think
sister?
it'd be. Oh yeah, I get to our sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our sister. We gotta get to them in that match because I'm not sure Lita. Because this just from a logic standpoint, you would assume Lita's not gonna be around much longer, right?
Right.
So I think this would be. I think we're gonna get the go home win for the faces, and we're gonna move on to something else.
Okay. I am going to go with Trish, Lita, and Becky also. I think this is the beginning of the end of Damage Control. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it. I think it's time for EO to kind of go singles, Dakota to go singles, Bayley to move on also. And then I would not be surprised to what you said, E. I don't know if I'm going Shayna and Ronda like immediately, but I could see Lita and Becky losing the tag titles on Raw because Trish turns on them, and then we get that story. But I think it happens pretty quick. I don't think Lita's going to be working Raws this time in 2 months from now and things of that nature. So I see it happen pretty quick, but I do have the three of them winning. And I think that match is also going to be thumbs up. For sure, I think that match is going to be thumbs up. What do you guys think on that?
Oh yeah, we didn't say thumbs up. Yeah, I'm gonna say thumbs up for that one.
I think it's gonna be another spectacle match. To be honest with you, I don't really have high hopes for the match being that great. Not saying that because Damage Control, those girls, those ladies, excuse me, can go. Look, Trish and Lita. I mean, I'm sure they're training their butts off, and they were some dogs back in their day. But this is Mania, and it's a lot of heavy lifting for Becky to have to do by herself. And I love Becky too. I like Becky. I think she's fine in the ring. I've never been wowed by her in the ring. I think a lot of her presentation is about her personality and her charisma. So I think it's going to be more of a spectacle than anything. I'm not expecting it to be a great match, but I think it's going to be there, and it's going to make us happy.
So then you give it a thumbs up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because it's Mania. I don't necessarily – I think a spectacle is a good thing. I think, just give us –
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Give us like a couple of things in the match that we can cheer for, we can boo on, tell a good story. Boom. Get it in.
Give me some smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, get us in and out.
Yep. Have the champions retain in a match that the belt's not even on the line. If you're going to give us a spectacle, right, E, go all the way in.
Yeah.
Go all the way in.
That's the reason why it's going to be a thumbs up, because they're going to retain.
All right. Let's throw this one, and then we're going to go to the nitty-gritty of the actual show. And I'm going to have to admit, let me go first on this one. E talks about me apologize to the Breakfast Club when Cody wins against Roman. I got a feeling I'm going to be apologizing to the Breakfast Club to Brock Lesnar. They kind of sold me last night. They kind of sold me on what type of match this is going to be. And when I saw Brock doing everything in his power to make Omos look good, flying around that ring, running at full speed, I was like, you know what? They're going to give us a pretty damn good 5 minutes. So,
but Omos is not 420 pounds.
No, he's not 420 pounds.
Whatever they said he was.
And Brock was like, if you're going to kayfabe this, I'm not even getting on the weight thing. So I'm going thumbs up.
And of course, the scale at him too.
And I'm going Brock Lesnar. I'm going, of course, the story is going to be him trying to F5 him throughout the entire match, and he finally hits it, and that's going to be the story of that match. So I'm going Brock Lesnar in a thumbs up match.
This is a spectacle for me. So going to be thumbs up because it is a spectacle. Two larger than life men in a ring. Who's going over? Brock. No main reasons at all. Okay. Just that I don't think Brock is going to lose to Omos. I'll be honest with you. But especially, he, like you said, on Raw and Go Home, he showed out for him. He tried to put him over as much as he could. But Brock is not losing to Omos. But I think it's actually going to be a 2 thumbs up match. You said what, 3 minutes? How long you said the match is going to be?
No, 5 minutes. Let's go
5 minutes, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this match is going to be a dud. Let's move on.
Keep it moving.
So you're going thumbs down.
If I don't want to give it any energy, so I'm gonna keep my hands in my pocket, and we're gonna move it on. All
right, so who's winning?
I don't care.
You really have a problem with following directions. This is a prediction part of the podcast. Look who I podcast with, ladies and gentlemen. I got the female voice that don't watch the female matches and storylines, and I got a guy who this is the second time in only 4 matches he tried not to give a prediction. What are we doing here? Do we just want to spend an hour talking about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and then E, you can spend an hour talking about Cody Rhodes and his theme song and how much pyro he's going to have, and that'd be like,
well, I didn't have control of doing this itinerary, so
let's get to the good stuff.
That.
Let's move it on. Let's get to the stuff. Let's move it on.
Peace. So, Eshaun thinks Omos is winning. Rhodesia, mark that down.
Okay.
And then we're going to get to the nitty gritty. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. And I do have a feeling we're going to get something else added on SmackDown. We won't touch that because we don't know. But the next 9 matches, I think we're all going to agree, are going to be 2 major thumbs up. I'll be interested to see if you guys think any different. Let's start with Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Eshaun, I'll throw it to you. Who you got? And thumbs up, thumbs down.
Man, you know what? I kind of feel like it's going to be a good match. Because, man, as we talked about it numerous times, Logan Paul has really caught on to his business, hit in a way that I never expected from especially in the in-ring, man. He just seems like such a natural. But you kind of feel like Seth's going to win, right? Like Logan can't win the match, right? 'Cause he's not a full-time guy. He's probably not going to be around on the next month or so. So you got to kind of feel like Seth is going to win, and he should win, right? So what I'm looking for is a really good, exciting match because Seth is one of the best wrestlers in the world, right? He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's going to be in there with Logan Paul, who can, I think, go with him. But I'm looking for Seth to retain in a very, very, very entertaining match.
Okay.
If I was a betting person, you have to bet on Logan. But what Seth has done in wrestling, in WWE, over these last 2-3 years, he has to win. It's going to be a thumbs up for this two-way thumbs up.
Okay.
But I'm going to have to say Seth is going to have to go over. He's just going to have to.
Yeah, I'm looking at his record. He's 6-4 at Mania. He's lost his last three. Lost to KO at 36, lost to Cesaro at 37, of course, lost to Cody last year at 38. He won, it says against Brock in 2019 at 35. I don't remember that match. 2019, I didn't know Seth wrestled. Oh, they opened the show. Yep, he won the Universal Championship. Yeah, it's Seth. Seth wins. He deserves it. Of course, we talked about he's lost so many matches this year. Still continue to be over. I do have a quick question for you guys, and I was wondering last night watching. So take a second after I ask it to give your answer, because you may think it's a ridiculous question, but then you still may after you take a second to think about it. Is Seth truly over, or is it his theme song that's truly over?
But he is his theme song. His theme song is
but
him.
He's not.
I mean, they're interchangeable.
But it's not.
I mean, I don't view it that way. I view it as they are one and the same thing. So I can't differentiate them and separate them. To me, I can't think that way. That's just like Cody and his music.
Cody
ask the
gets
same
an
question with
incredible
Cody.
reaction to his music. They sing, and the crowd is absolutely there during his matches.
They are with Seth. They sing. They sing his song and hum his song.
They sing the
his match.
song. They're not screaming for him. They sing his song. Does that mean then that he's over, or is it the song that's super over?
Well, my answer is that they're the same.
You know, I've heard this debate a couple of times.
Oh, really?
In different places. Yeah, I've heard this debate.
What have they said?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know what they came up with. I don't think I was interested in knowing what they heard, to be honest with you. People have just been bringing it up. But now that you ask about it, it's a good conversation piece, because I think, as Rhodesia was saying, it kind of goes hand in hand in a lot of ways. And I get the argument, right? Like, Seth doesn't get the Cody reactions, but he gets a reaction. Like, I think that, like, we all like Seth, right?
Yep.
Like, will we say, is he our top 10, like most favorite wrestlers right now? Maybe not.
Now, this
but
moment?
we like him.
He is for me.
Yeah. So, and I feel like most fans feel the same way. Like, I think that most hardcore fans and the WWE universe, I think they like Seth. How much do they like him? How over is he with them? If there's like a meter, right? We're gonna gauge it from like a 1 to 10. I don't know if he's a 10. Right, he's definitely not on the same level as a Cody is right now with the fan love, but he's definitely up there, and I think fans love him. I think his song is more over than he is, if that's saying something. But I think you know what? Look, that's part of the show. I think his intro, his music is part of the entire experience. People want to come and they want to sing his song. Well, God dang it, you got to see Seth to do it. So I think it all goes hand in hand. But it's a good question, though.
So then you agree with me then, because you said his song is over, and that's kind of what I was just saying. We know he's over, but is he as over as the song is? And you and I agree that he's not. Like, Cody is more over than his song. His song adds to his presentation,
but not to me. Seth, I think Cody is more over. His song is more over than Cody is to me.
Yeah, not when he cuts promos. They're not singing his song when he's cutting a promo. They're not singing his song when he needs to fire up in his match. For Seth, they do. So that was kind of like it was something that happened last night. Oh, he had the crowd sing his song. And I'm like, man, are they really invested in Seth the way they should be? Or are they just invested in singing the song? That was all. I kind of thought about that when I saw that last night.
Yeah, one thing about Cody real fast, Matt, to Rhodesia is, you know, like they added Cody to a lot of the house shows and loops. And all of those house shows went up in attendance when they announced that he was going to be there.
Significant.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's over.
Did you guys see awesome. they had 9,000 show up to the house show on Sunday.
Is that good, bad, or what?
9,000. Last time they were in that market, it was 6,500 tickets sold.
Wow.
It's like, wow, they are hot, man. Like, they are super hot. And it's going to be cool to see how hot are they this time next week. Manias will be done. The night after Raw is done, or the Raw, the night after Mania. All right. We're going to think that the main 2 or 3 storylines are going to be in completely different directions. Like, do they keep that momentum up? Do we see it maybe even increase if Cody's champ? Like, it's going to be kind of fun to see that.
I think the bigger thing will be 6 months from now. I think it's going to be a slow taper. If it's going to be a loss, I think it's going to be a slow loss, and you'll notice it 6 months from now, especially as that bloodline feud starts winding down a little bit, or maybe it might go up depending on where they take it, or how Cody does with this. Yeah,
because you're talking about 6 months, you're talking SummerSlam, so we know that they're going to ramp. They're ramping there, which tickets going to sell in a few weeks for that. So I know
you got our code yet, man. I mean, come on, WWE.
No code yet. I'm sure we're getting it that week. Edge versus the Demon, Finn Balor. He came out, and I thought it was a great sit-down green screen promo Finn did to say that, hey, it will be the Demon. It was interesting that it was the old color Demon. So I do hope they do something like with purple with him. So I popped for that, and then I also popped for knowing that the original Hell in a Cell is back. The gray Hell in a Cell. They are gone with the red Hell in a Cell. So shout out to Triple H for bringing back the old school gray Hell in a Cell. Edge versus Demon Finn Balor. Who you guys got?
Hold up. Let's rewind a little bit. I thought it was just because it was always on Raw. So the Hell in a Cells, they were red, and now they're going back gray. So then what is gray now? The steel cages?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just the fence.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember it being red that much. I thought it was always silver.
No, they switched it years ago, and it looked horrible. Yeah.
No, I like silver or gray then. Edge has to come back to put over Finn. Flat out. Or I'm going to lose the very last bit of respect I have for Edge. So Edge is putting Finn over.
He doesn't I'm sure he doesn't have creative control in his contract to say if he's going to win or not. So don't lose respect for him. But yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'm a little dramatic there. But yeah, he had to put Finn over. Finn is winning. 2 thumbs up for the match. And it's Hell in a Cell. You're going to get 1 thumb up already just because, well, we only do 1 thumb up or thumb down. It's a thumb up because it's Hell in a Cell anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going thumbs up. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I love that they added these storyline flows with bringing the Demon back. We haven't seen him in a long time, and we were guessing they're going to bring him back, but now we know for sure he's coming back. I love that they've tried to add some wrinkles to the Edge character. Like, yo, I'm coming back with a different side of me as well to that Hell in a Cell match. So that's definitely one of the matches that I'm super invested in. I'm looking to see it. I'm hoping that Finn wins because he's lost, I want to say, every time that he's faced Edge. They try to get his heat back afterwards. Yeah. So, like, I feel like in the Demon, I'm not sure the record, but he only has the 1 loss, right? And that was such a cop-out loss anyway, right? Because I think it was like what happened? Roman, like
the top rope broke. He was on the top rope to hit the coup de grace. Top rope breaks out of nowhere. Roman wins, and they never bring it up again.
They never up again. Yeah. So he's almost essentially still undefeated. So
and you know what's crazy?
I'm hoping to see Edge win. I'm sorry.
And people have the nerve to talk about, I don't see a big difference from Triple H booking in when Vince was the head booker. We've seen nothing like that since July of last year. There's been nothing that has happened on WWE TV besides Bray, and we know that's not their fault, or you know what I mean? Like, we know there's something going on there that they started, and then it was just like, all right, well, we're done with it, or it was something that they didn't give us an explanation or reason behind. For sure. Okay, so you got Finn, you got thumbs up. You see Edge said today he has some interview or something, and he said that he's going to bring up a couple of crazy scenarios for him to do in the Hell in a Cell. He said he's pretty sure they're going to be turned down to do it, but you never know. So he's got something crazy in mind, which I'm excited to see. But yep, thumbs up for me, and Finn has to win.
Has to.
Yep. Unless they got something in play for Judgment Day afterwards if it's because he loses, right? Like, say Rhea wins, she breaks off. Right now, Priest isn't in a match, right?
No.
Let me just make sure he's not in the Andre the Giant over the top
well,
battle royal.
no, he's in that.
Hold on.
He's in that.
I got the list here.
But still, but he might play a part in the Dominic Ray match we'll get to later.
He's not on. He's not on the list that they posted on the door.
I thought he was on there. Okay,
could be, but he's just not on this list.
Okay, but yeah, so we all are going Finn. Let's go right into it. You just brought it up, E. Let's go Dom and Rey Mysterio. Probably take away anything bloodline related. This has been the best storyline, right? When we all agree on that.
Longest one too, right? After the bloodline, I would say this has probably been this storyline's been making for almost over a year, right? Has it been that long?
Man, it seems like. I mean, I was trying.
No,
to
not that long. Cause they wrestled together at SummerSlam, so close to it.
Okay, so right after that, because that was when he turned on Edge and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of course, I have this as thumbs up, and I hadn't even thought about who's winning until right now.
Same here.
Ray
There's not a protocol to this, is it?
I mean, he's got to put Dom over.
But is there a protocol to this? I mean, aren't we like witnessing history? Maybe like on such a high platform.
Well, like father and son in Mania.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It has to be. What other?
I don't know.
Orton and his dad kind of were together when Cowboy did a run in years ago. Rocky Johnson did a run in with The Rock. They were together.
There's not a manuscript
Vince
for this.
and Shane. No, Vince and Shane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. Technically, yeah.
But still, second one, and we know this match is going to be. That was a match full of bells and whistles. I don't think we get that here. But this whole thing is to get Dom over, right? Like if Ray wins, it's a feel good moment, point? Especially you know that he's talking about retiring. I guess like pretty soon, where there was word that this was going to be like his last match. I hope that's not the case. Lose. You guys know I'm all about like let us know it's their last match so we can give them their flowers. I think this is a toss-up, but I'm going to go Dom just because we think he's an irritant now. Imagine every week if he just talks about how he beat his dad. I don't know if like Ray beats his son.
Not his dad, remember?
Oh, that's right.
He said Eddie. He wished that Eddie was his daddy or something like that. So there we go. He pulled that one out.
And that was Dom's best promo like ever. He's still not that comfortable on the mic. You kind of can tell, but I think maybe there was some like real feelings there. He did really good last night. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Dom. What do you guys think?
I say Dom as well because I just can't see the point of. I can see a point of why Ray would go over and win, but I just don't see just in totality the grand scheme of things. Put your son over. He's gonna get an ass whooping though beforehand. Sorry, he's gonna get an ass whooping though, but Dom's gonna win.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Gosh, man, I might want to go with Ray. To be honest with you, at a Mania, and so like because this can set up a possible rematch. You know, Dom does something despicable afterwards to get his heat back, and we get another match. We can go a lot of different ways.
Yep. Remember, they're in Puerto Rico next month. Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for because set it up for another match. But it can go either way. But this is another match I'm super invested in. Like, it's a great story, you know. Like, in SmackDown, I was telling you guys, I'm like, look, how are we going to get Ray to finally accept this challenge? I was like, man, look, Dom got to go after mom, we got to go after sister. And that's what he did. And the crowd popped huge for it. So it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting match, I should say, at least.
You look at the last 2 weeks in WWE, just talk, you know, the Bloodline story, that story. We had a massive pop for a hug in the middle of the ring last week or 2 weeks ago, and this week we get a massive pop from one punch. It's like, man, it's the story. It's the story.
That's freaking wrestling, y'all.
And yes, and investing in the people / character is always the way to go. So absolutely. But no, I think you're right. I think you caught it. I think Ray does win. They do something, and then we get a tag match. Maybe that's where Priest comes in at. In Puerto Rico. Maybe we get Bad Bunny involved. Ray and Bad Bunny against Dom and Damien.
Yeah, I can see that.
We know this match is starting the pay-per-view. Night 1. Austin Theory versus John Cena. I got a feeling we're going to be on different sides of the coin on this one. Thumbs up already. I'm not going to go yet, but Rhodesia, I know you are super excited for this one. Who do you have?
Thumbs up. And the winner is going to be Austin Theory. John Cena has had an amazing career with the WWE. He's going to be on a Mount Rushmore of GOATs. Again, back to kind of like the Ray, but now I see the point as far as bringing it back at Backlash. I see a point for John to win, but I really don't believe in that point. So put the younger talent over. Austin is going to win, and it's going to be a thumbs up. Because John's not going to put on a bad match. Even if he doesn't have that many moves, he's still not going to put on a bad match. As we can see that he can be off for a year and come back in the ring, and again, you fall right back in love with him on the mic. Mm-hmm. So he takes you there. So Austin to win, thumbs up.
Okay.
Same. I'm going 2 thumbs up, and I'm looking for Austin Theory win.
So I am the opposite. Absolutely thumbs up. Like I said, I have John Cena winning.
Why?
And I have John Cena winning because it is the opening match on night 1. And that's a moment to start the show off on a huge high for fans, is to see John Cena back winning the United States Championship.
I see that.
And I think now knowing, okay, so they announced it was night 1, first match. My first thought was, man, Cena's got to get in and get out. Right? He's got to go wherever he's got to do. If he's got another movie he's doing or whatnot. Then I started thinking about it a little bit more. And if you remember that promo that he cut on Theory, it was a lot about April 3rd. If you remember, it was a lot about what that next Monday night looks like. You're in a no-win situation, Theory. They're going to boo you if you don't win. They're going to boo you if you do win. Right? I think that plays into this. So if this match was not the first match on night 1,
yeah.
Yep, I think this plays into that. Does Cena come back and do a open challenge Monday night, and we get Theory winning again? Do we get somebody debuting that takes the belt off of immediately? Of course, we know Cena's not staying around, but I think that's a moment that, oh my God, Cena just beat Theory for the championship, and now you go into the rest of the show. I think that's pretty big.
So real quick then, if it wasn't to start the show or even the next day, would you feel different?
Mm-hmm. I would.
Okay. So you're only thinking Cena's winning because it is starting.
Do you start night 1 in WrestleMania
with
knowing
Cena
you
losing?
Get a ton of casual fans that watch this show? It's on Peacock, so they want to get everybody with their eyes on it as soon as this show starts. Does it make sense? I mean, I guess if you think Austin Theory is the future, but for that feel-good moment, does it make sense for Cena to lose right there? Or does it make sense for him to win? We'll see.
Guess we'll see.
Yep, we shall see. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus. Intercontinental Championship match. Who you guys got?
All these guys. All these guys. All these guys. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna flip a coin, and it's gonna be thumbs up. So let's address that. Thumbs up.
Right.
Who's gonna win? Let's flip a coin. I'll be happy for any of them to win.
I'm looking for Drew to win, and I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. I think it's his time for some gold. I mean, he's like after Cody. I think he's the guy, and I think he has some big things planned for him going forward. So I'm looking for him to get a nice title reign, and eventually I like to see him challenge for one of the world titles.
Yeah.
And I say one of the world titles, assuming that they're going to break him up at some point. But I guess we'll get to
they
that
have to.
Later on.
They have to soon. Yeah, they have to soon. So you're going Drew. I think we can all say it's not going to be Sheamus. Sheamus had numerous opportunities over the summer. He didn't cash in, so I can't see that happening now. I just don't know if they want Gunther. I think he's already crossed like all the threshold days
the most,
yeah. So I think he's already done that. And actually, give me Drew with Drew pinning Sheamus to win. So Gunther doesn't even take the pin. Give me that. Give me that. And absolutely, of course, thumbs up. I think any of these matches we've talked about since Brock and Omos could steal the weekend. But I think this one in particular is probably a top 3 match we're going to be talking about for a long time. I do. Next, Women's Championship, Rhodesia. The belt is on the line for this match.
I know.
Bianca Belair. She's the one with the really long braid. She's got a really cool song. She whips her braid. She comes down to the ring and skips.
Don't patronize me.
She's going against the Asian powerhouse is Asuka. She was gone for a while. She came back at the Rumble. She's the one that wears the mask, and she takes the mask off. She has face paint. He really can't see a difference from how she was before she was gone to now. Do you know?
Are you done or are you finished?
Both. Who you got?
Okay. I love you, Bianca, with all my heart and soul. But the Empress of Tomorrow,
pull the trigger,
is going to win. It's going to be a thumbs up. So let's address that. But definitely, Asuka's going to win. I'm mad about the build. We talked about this already. We don't have to go back in the back. We can go for the future now. I kind of hated this build. Not kind of. I did hate this build, but Asuka's going to win.
I'm looking for Bianca to retain. I don't think that Asuka is ready for Bianca.
Oh.
And you gave a thumbs up, right? For sure? Or no?
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to work really, really hard to give us a good match. I think the build has been flat, but I don't want to take away from the women that are going to be in that ring. So definitely, yeah, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up.
This is actually one of the matches I'm most excited for. And you guys remember I was banging this drum back when, what happened in the Rumble? Rhea won the Rumble, and I'm like, okay, Operation Bianca, Asuka starts now for me. The build has been absolutely horrendous. But I think when they get in that ring, they're going to create some magic. And I think that give me Asuka, man, just because the build has been so bad. But then it could be the opposite. It could be the build has been so bad because this is like the beginning of their feud. And they take us through the spring. You know, but give me Asuka. I think Bianca can lose. She's been champ for a year, right? Yeah. A year straight? Because she won against Becky at Mania last year. And she's held the title ever since.
Yep, she hasn't dropped it yet.
You know, so I didn't listen to the video yet from Jamil Hill when she interviewed Bianca. Mm-hmm. And one of the statements was that Bianca was the longest reigning black champion.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
She just crossed that a few days ago. Yep.
Just crossed that. And I'm pegging her to win, not because she's already hit that milestone, which is amazing. But I just think that there's room for that feud to grow. I feel like there's another level that Asuka needs to go. And hopefully a loss at Mania will take it to that next level to progress her heel character. And then maybe once that character gets hot, then she can go ahead and, you know, maybe take that belt from Bianca, and then we go off from there. I just feel like there's still some legs in that thing.
No, you're right. And from a common sense, just watching, taking everything for face value, no way Bianca should lose this match. If you're taking it for face value for this feud, you look at it and say, like, Asuka's done nothing but spit her green mist, smile. You know what I mean? Like, she's done nothing. We just know how great Asuka can be. And she has not shown it.
And Asuka is H's girl.
Well, I'm sure so is Bianca.
Yeah, but Asuka was undefeated on NXT under H.
That is true. All right, next one. Do I need to explain to you who Charlotte Flair is, Rhodesia, or you got this? You got this in Rhea Ripley? She's the real tall woman in Judgment Day.
Me.
She wears JD under her eye, and that stands for Judgment Day. You got it? You got it? You got it?
I got that.
As you proceed to give me the finger. All right. You'll see. You get yours, B. You get yours, man. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhodesia, who you got? Well, we know who you have because we've been talking about it every single week. But go ahead.
Definitely Rhea Ripley. A thumbs up. Again, this whole card, like I said, there was only one question that I had that wasn't going to be thumbs up, and then I told you what happened to make it thumbs up. So they're all going to be thumbs up, and Rhea is going to win it. She is so over. Over. She is going to win.
Like Rover, you giving 2 thumbs up?
Over, like, yeah.
They have been pumping her. She has been on TV. I'm going to have to assume if you take everybody in totality, maybe minus the Usos, she's probably had the biggest percentage of TV time in the last, 2 months on WWE TV. She's on every show.
I'm just so interested to see how this is going to play out in the Mania crowd. The cheering,
She's getting
the
cheered.
booing.
Charlotte's getting booed.
Well, no, I know. I know that, but then I also want to see how Rhea steps into this role, because they have announced that this is the main event, right, of night one?
They have not.
Is that official?
Remember that that was the noise, and then it kind of just stopped. And they said, allegedly, political reasons is why it would be Charlotte and Rhea. Of course, the tag match is
if
next.
It is,
we'll talk about that. I don't know how you put this match ahead of. The only way to me this would work is if you go on night 2, Jimmy and Jay and KO and Sammy as match number 1, and then you go Roman Cody as, of course, the main event match. So you start with the Bloodline on night 2, you end with the Bloodline on night 2. That's the only other way, and that still wouldn't make sense. To a certain extent it would, but that's the only way you could not have Usos and KO and Sammy main event.
I get that, but again, this is your champion. This is your solos championship. They have to.
So is Bianca and Asuka. We're not talking about them being
I
in
get
the main
that
event.
for sure, but one of them would have to be. That's all I'm saying. If it's a 2-night card, the other champion has to be on there. One of them. It can't be a tag team. To me, I just think that goes against the rules of the card. But you're right. What we've been invested in and what they have produced in the Bloodline, they deserve that main event. They do, for sure. But I just can't see. Maybe it is the political side of things. I can't see, a women's champion match not going last on night 1.
So as a woman, are you okay with feeling like it was charity to Charlotte and Rhea to put them in the main event spot, opposed to them earning it through crowd reaction, through storyline development, opposed to brothers versus brothers? They even have a tagline for their match.
That's a fair point. How would I feel that they would be? It's like charity. No.
Yeah, I'm saying. So would you rather have them in that spot to say
like,
hey, they main evented, the women main evented night 1 again, or would you, knowing it's via charity, because nobody would say that they should be in that spot if you watch WWE TV. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have it where, hey, they didn't quote unquote earn it this year via storyline? So the Usos and Sammy and KO that have told this tremendous, intricate story for the past 9 to 12 months, they're in that spot. As a woman, just from a female perspective, which one would you say, all right, I'd rather take that?
As purely as a woman, no, I don't. Give me a handout. So that answers your question. No, don't give me charity. I want to earn it.
Got it. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Rhea winning. I kind of don't want her to break away from Judgment Day. I feel like there's still a lot of story in that group, but they're definitely seem like they're kind of shifting gears with her, and definitely she deserves a lot of things. Especially you saw that video that was online with her signing all those autographs at the airport, and man, I wouldn't do it if I was her, man. I think shame on you people. Bothering people at the airport, they got to have something in place to block this kind of stuff, man. It's ridiculous. But she sat there like a trooper, and she signed all that stuff, man. So she's a fan favorite. She deserves it. She deserves her opportunity. Whatever they're going to give her, as far as championship, main event, she deserves it because she's a great competitor.
I'm going Rhea. I don't know how there's any chance she doesn't win. I think it would just be a completely missed opportunity. And the match is going to be great. We know that too. Match is going to be great. All right, so the co-main event, in my opinion, so we got the Bloodline next 2 matches. Usos versus KO and Sammy.
Thumbs up. This has got to be the beginning, the real beginning of the dissension, the blow up of the bloodline. This has to be the beginning. It's the beginning of like the true mile marker. Here we go. This is where it all implodes fully. KO and Sami Zayn is going to win those undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and the place is going to go cray cray.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is going to be a really hot matchup. KO, Sami versus the Usos. I mean, KO and Sami are so hot right now. You got to kind of give them the titles, and it's time. Yep. I feel like more so the tag titles, maybe more so than Roman losing the championship. I feel like it's time for those belts to change hands. I feel like KO and Sami are the right, competitors to take those titles. I'm looking forward to it. This is, again, like you said, Matt, this is my main event for one of those nights, too. I'm guessing night one. It has to be. I mean, there's so much juice. There's so much intrigue on this storyline with those four guys. It has to be those guys in the main event, and I'm hoping to see a 2 thumbs up match with Sami and KO winning.
We know it's going to be 2 thumbs up. We know the match is going to be fantastic. Another match that can steal the show. This just has to be them. For the Usos, we remember the Usos when they couldn't get on the pre-show for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we remember when they got on the pre-show.
I remember that.
And it was like, oh my God, finally, they're on the pre-show. Give these guys this main event spot. They have more than deserved it and earned it. Match is going to be fantastic. Of course, I think Kevin Owens and Sami will win the championship. I do have a question for you, too, though. Let's do a little bit of fantasy booking. KO and Sami wins. Where do they go next? Because the assumption is probably going to be they're done with the Usos, right? I mean, we don't see a rematch, a big rematch like at a pay-per-view with the Usos, I'm going to assume. So you got 2 of your hottest single stars with the tag team belts, and we kind of talked about that tag scramble match. There's not really any other hot tag teams in it, WWE in general. Is this where FTR comes into play in a couple weeks? If their contract is up and they decide to go with WWE, that would be incredible. Oh my God. KO and Sami versus FTR, that would be unreal. But besides that, where do those 2 guys as tag champs go?
I can't answer that right now without really thinking about it, but I want to say I don't think Sami is done trying to get Jay out of the bloodline. I really think he's still going to try to push as he's done before. Hey, you can leave him. You can come with us. You can be down with us. I think that we know there's still more to telling that story. But as a tag, you're right. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Maybe whoever comes out of this 4-way tag, maybe that'll be their new challenger. Again, I don't want FTR in WWE. So.
Will it be the revival?
Rhodesia, you're onto something, Rhodesia. This is when I put on my 2K Universe booking hat. Yes, Matt. I think you can get at least 3 more matches out of this entire feud, right? Because I think you got to have a rematch. Why wouldn't the greatest tag team champions in history not get a rematch?
A rematch,
right? And why would they not get it at WrestleMania Backlash? Right? There's so much storytelling, as Rhodesia said. Like, just because they're fighting doesn't mean that the love is lost between these guys, right? Because at the end of the day, we're speculating that Jay and Jimmy really aren't mad at KO and Sami. They're really more so mad at Roman, and they're just following the line, doing what they got to do. Like, they're following orders at this point, right? They don't necessarily agree with the marching orders, but they're following orders. They're doing what they think is best for their families, right? Mm-hmm. And so in a lot of ways, that's commendable. Like, fans can kind of believe in that, and you can kind of see KO and Sami like, look, I need to beat the sense into you guys, right? So they get another rematch. There's that. Maybe they split them. Then we got to get another match to kind of decide the winners. But there's a lot of, I don't think you're going to see Sami and KO moving away from that bloodline story too quickly. I think they're going to still stay kind of engulfed in the whole situation. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to see them interchanging for the next couple months.
Okay. So then you think that the breakup of the bloodline is going to happen really slowly. It's not going to be a thing where come April 3rd on Raw, oh man, it is fractured right now and it's off to the races. You think it's going to be a slow burn?
Yeah, Tony Khan's not booking this.
Ooh,
This is Triple H.
that's some shade.
You know what's so funny? I really thought to myself, how is E going to throw in an AEW dig on a show where we're only talking WrestleMania? And I'll be damned, he found a way to do it hour 15 minutes in. It's commendable. Your haterism of AEW is absolutely commendable, man. Of course, I think I already said I'm going KO and Sammy. 2 thumbs up. Mm-hmm. Main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Rhodesia, of course, I got to start with Pastor E here. He's been on the Cody train for years. He's been on the Cody train since Cody was Intercontinental Champion 25 years ago in the WWE. Take it away, sir. Thumbs and winner.
See, I've been saving my energy for this moment right here because I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually in the bed by now. I've been asleep like an hour ago. But I've been saving all my energy.
There it is. And he had to throw in he was sleeping. See? He had to throw both of them in. And he did it within a minute of each other. You got to respect it, man. Like, shout out to that.
If you guys notice, I've been trying to keep my comments very short. Right? I've been saving it for right now because this is what I'm going to do because Matt said he's going to lay out. No. I'm waiting for Matt to lay out. Because here's the thing, guys. They wanted to do a podcast at like 4 o'clock in the morning after WrestleMania. I said, hey, y'all have at it. Because I remember there was some dude on Twitter told me, hey, get a real job, right? I'm like, fool, I do got a real job. And I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go do this real job. So I won't be able to partake in this podcast, okay? However, I look forward to editing this video. Because Matt told me, like, hey, E, how do you want to do it? You know, how you want to use it? Just like, no, don't worry about it, Matt. I got you. I look forward to editing this video with glee in my eye for the apology. You know what? I'm pretty sure Matt will say, oh, you know what? It's too late to do the podcast. We got to do another night.
I'll run from the smoke.
No,
why would I ever run from being right?
We'll see.
Why would I ever run from being right?
We'll see. Because Triple H called me and told me the other day. Triple H called me and told me, it was like, hey, E, look.
What he said?
I approved a new championship being made. And he said, I had a dream. I said, oh, snap, you got to what? I said, I had a dream, man, that this is going to be the best championship that I've ever made. And I said, I hung up on him. I said, look, this is too much. Because he already done dropped. It's going to be a Dusty Rhodes-inspired American Dream Undisputed Championship for me, for Cody, for Dusty and Sonny. We going to have a field day come WrestleMania. I can't wait because guess what we going to get? We going to get a championship win because this is ending, y'all. This is ending 2 nights of love. That's what we get in this WrestleMania. It's going to be 2 nights of love, and you got to end it with a title change to a super over babyface Cody Rhodes holding up 2 titles. 2 of them, gosh darn it. And that's what we're going to get. It's going to be so sweet. It's going to be amazing. Look, little Ethan said, Daddy, can I watch Cody and Roman? I said, son, you can. We're going to do it together. We're going to experience this win together. Father and son is going to watch another son do something for his daddy. So that way, Ethan, when he gets to that point, he's like, you know what? I'm doing this for you, Daddy. Just like Cody did for his. And it's going to be a beautiful moment for all the daddies, all the sons all over the world, that this is happening for us, right? And then we're going to get into the podcast because Matt's going to tell you the time he's going to drop this apology podcast. He's going to tell us, he's going to apologize for all this hating. Because here's the real truth, y'all. What you guys have probably seen, Matt's really a heel. He's just being stubborn. He knows that Cody, he knew weeks ago what was going to happen. But he can't hold on to it. He can't admit that he was wrong. But he going to admit after that on that podcast, he going to apologize. He going to call the Breakfast Club. He going to call Charlamagne. He going to call Families. He going to call Ray J. Angela Yee, I don't think she on the show anymore, is she?
No, she's gone.
I don't know.
She got her own show.
Yeah,
so
she
shout
gone.
out to her for having her own show. Yeah.
Hey, but he gonna call her too, and he gonna apologize, and we gonna send props to Cody winning that championship for the Rhodes family and the Terrys. 2 thumbs
That
up.
was very entertaining. That was, you know what? I got to give you credit, my good man. You definitely saved all the energy you had for that 3-minute breakdown of falsity, of dreams, of hopes that will be dashed by the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, on Sunday night. I cannot wait to text you. And I'm going to just hit you with the smirk emoji. That's all I'm going to say. And that's it. Rhodesia, before I say my piece, who do you have? Of course, I know thumbs up, right? Absolutely.
Sure.
And who do you have winning?
I don't know if I could really follow what just happened there. So it's gonna be a thumbs almost up. And yep.
Thumbs almost up.
Yeah, so it's like it's like if you had a round up.
So
or
you
round
think
down,
the
it's gonna be
match?
thumbs up.
So you think this would be one of the worst matches on the card? Because everything else you basically gave thumbs up to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Just from wrestling styles. Just from wrestling styles. I've addressed that before about how the
I'm ready to log off
is
this
in
podcast
matches.
right now, man. I'm ready to log off.
Being
Right
honest.
now.
Being completely honest. So we're gonna have the spectacle, the pomps and circumstances. I'm actually gonna sing the Cody Rhodes theme song. I'm gonna do all of that.
He has turned his back. He has turned his back on you saying you think Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, the biggest and arguably best main event we've had in WrestleMania in years.
The worst match?
You are saying will be the worst match on the card. Jesus Christ.
I love how you change my narrative. I love it. But you know what?
You
to
said
get technical with it. To
up.
get technical with it. Yep. This match is not going to be. There's going to be multiple matches. I feel that's going to be better than this. I'm not going to do this to them. Roman and Cody is not going to have the worst match on both nights. That's not going to happen. But they're not going to have the best match of the nights. So probably not even the best night on night
but you
two.
just said
So let me retract that a little bit. It's not going to be like, oh my God, this is the main event and this is the best match of the whole weekend. No, and I don't think it's going to be by a long shot. Again, most of it is because of what I like.
Are you leaving early to beat traffic? So are you leaving before the match starts to beat traffic?
No, because I need to split this Uber with people, so I can't afford the Uber by myself. So with that being said, everything. All the stars are aligning. I even think this weekend we're going to have like 5 planets in the moon all aligned this week. Everything is saying that Cody should win. But I'm going with Roman Reigns to retain. And I'm going with there's going to be other matches better than it. But Roman Reigns is going to win. And thumbs up to like this. So that's what is that? A 45-degree angle?
That's like Orange Cassidy on his fire up.
There we go. Boom.
Got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it. Wow. I don't think I can top what you just said or go after what you just said. I'm thinking about just moving on to talking about our pod schedule for this week. For you to say this is going to be the worst match in the history of WrestleMania, that's insane.
I told you to stop changing my narrative.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. The worst match. You ain't supporting women's wrestling. What's going on in this podcast?
I can't stand people changing my narrative.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, anywho.
And wait, he went back on mute and turned back around.
Hey, man, if I didn't have to talk, I would too. Actually, I'm thinking about just hitting this button that says leave and just leaving the pod. You intro that. You can
I can pod by myself.
You probably can too.
Yeah. You might lose some fans, but
what would your first pod be about if you had to pod by yourself?
A thorough breakdown of the Andre the Giant over the top battle royal.
Wow. All right, I'm going. You guys know my stick. I've been talking about Roman winning. I'm not changing now. I'm going to ride with Roman till the wheels fall off. If I was, of course, a betting man, it makes perfect sense to put the belt on Cody. Cody is super hot. He is, I think, now a top 2 or top 3 merch seller. Makes sense, right? But I've been talking about Roman all this time. Cody's not ready. I think Cody listens to the pod. He definitely cut that promo yesterday about me when he was like, people are there talking about what did he do to earn it, and he like went off. So shout out to Cody for listening to the TFW podcast. But I'm going with Roman, and I'm going with Roman even more now because Solo lost on Raw to Cody Rhodes. Why would they feed Solo to Cody? You are not going to have him beat Solo, give him his first loss, and then beat Roman Reigns on Sunday. Solo walked so Roman can run. Give me Roman Reigns in some type of smazzy finish. We are going to get some type of surprise that's going to have people talking on WrestleMania. I haven't figured out. I don't want to figure out what that is. I think some major's coming on this show, and it may be connected to this, but I do think there's going to be something massive on this show that we have no idea that's coming, that's going to happen. But give me Roman Reigns to beat Cody, and I don't know where we go from here. But because if I picked Cody, I would have picked every championship to change hands. I don't think that's happening. You guys picked the majority of the titles to change hands. So do we really think that's happening? Is this going to be like a complete reset of stories and we get that many title changes, or are we just off base?
Well, I said Austin was going to retain. Also, Bianca was going to retain. So it'd be a good mix for me.
Okay, so you have two retained.
And also the tag team titles, they're also going to, the women's tag, they're also going to retain as well.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
They
absolutely are going to retain.
Yeah.
Yep.
I called it first.
You did. You were on top of it.
Yeah.
All right. So our podcast schedule for this week, we're going to hit you guys with 2 podcasts. We're going to do one late Saturday night that's going to drop probably early Sunday morning. So it will be Rhodesia and I's live reaction. E will be on the pod also. We will break down, of course, night 1. We'll be talking about the matches. And then I think Rhodesia and I are going to pod on night 2, late Sunday night, which will probably hit early Monday morning, and kind of give our live thoughts and the breakdown of night 2, and then probably some quick thoughts on what we see happening on Monday Night Raw, which we'll be live in the building for as well. All right, so this week, we're going to give you guys the most pods we've ever given you. Hey, enjoy, listen to them. Of course, tell your friends about it. Also, be tuned in to our Twitter at That's FNW. We're going to have some great content on there each day. We got action-packed days, so we're going to make sure we photos and videos and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so Eshaun and Rhodesia. We talked about this card in depth. We gave almost every match thumbs up. I think E, overall, you gave 2 thumbs down. Predict where this Mania will be when we are done come Sunday night. All the pyro is blown away. They have signed off on Peacock. Is this a top what WrestleMania pay-per-views? Rhodesia, I'll start with you.
So when you say stuff like that, I think about like top 5, top 10, top 20, like that kind of stuff there. I don't want to be full of hyperbole and say top 5. So I want to probably say maybe top 7. It's been probably, if I have to go back and look, I don't know if it's been this many matches on the card where I'm like the thumbs up to. So if the majority of those execute the way that I'm anticipating them to, then this is going to have to be a top 7 Mania for me. So I'm gonna give it 7, top 7.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go top 5 for me because, as I said, starting the podcast, I have kind of been uninvested in WWE product for a long time. So this is the first time I've been really excited for Mania in this main event. So for me personally, it's right up there. It got to be top 5.
I am aligned with E. I am going top 5, and I am also going the best 2-day WrestleMania by far. I was close to saying I think this is going to be a top 3 WrestleMania, but I pulled back. But I still think it has that ability. We just ran down this card. Take away hype, because we're not going to remember the hype years from now. You know, somebody had hit me on Twitter and made a comment about, hey, if you remember, Sasha and Bianca's storyline was horrible, but the match was fantastic. All I remember is the match. I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in the lead up to the main event, you know, that pay-per-view, the WrestleMania. So I think the same thing's going to happen with this. We'll absolutely, of course, remember the epic stories of the Bloodline, of Ray and Dom, but like, I don't think 2 years from now we're going to remember how poorly Bianca and Asuka was billed, how poorly Charlotte and Rhea was billed. I don't think we're going to remember that. I think we're going to remember just how fantastic these matches are going to be, or not. We'll see. But think about it. Since Triple H has been head of creative, have we had a WWE pay-per-view that was not at least very good? I don't think so, right? SummerSlam, Extreme Rules, War Games, the Saudi show, Rumble.
Was Cardiff counted under H?
Yeah, that was September.
But, you know, for me, though, I feel like the creative has always been the problem leading up to these shows. I feel like the wrestlers always deliver. They always go out there and execute really entertaining shows. I think the things that's different for me for this Mania is that the intrigue and the interest is there for the matches and storylines leading up to the actual show. And I think it's going to make that even more impactful and meaningful for us as fans, that we are going to get payoffs to storylines that we've been invested in for almost a year. So I think that's what the huge thing is.
It's a good call. Yep, I agree. Agree 100%. All right, guys, we just deep dived our personal favorite Mania moments. We deep dive this pretty spectacular card in terms of hopefully what it shows in the ring. Anything else you guys want to bring up WrestleMania related before we get out of here and be right back podding again in a few days?
Were we not going to talk about the top matches that we thought was going to maybe steal the show or be the top 3 in ring?
Take it away.
We talked about that for a second. Okay.
What do you think? So you're saying top 3 match quality?
In ring quality,
saying,
match
right?
quality, in ring qualities, and in this order. Okay. So in
Or,
this
okay,
order,
hey,
my top.
okay, no, how about this? And you can still do yours, but maybe this one is a little bit better. We talked about some spectacle in these matches, so that we know that wouldn't be maybe in ring quality. What are the top 3 matches we're going to be talking about? No matter the reason why. Just what are the top 3 matches you think we're going to be talking about the most coming out of this card?
That's a little bit different. My answers would be different on that one. So I'm just going to go with what I had planned for. I'm going to go with what I think.
You can't
is
change on the
be...
fly? Oh, I know, because what you had planned for was to talk about the women's tag titles. And then you figured out they really weren't on the line, so you're like,
okay, that's getting old now.
That makes sense.
That's getting old. That's getting old now. That's
You
getting
should have said it. That's coming up on every episode of the TFW podcast until you make up for it. You'll say something else crazy, I'm sure.
I'm quite sure I would. Like I said, I'm going to go.
Had a better comeback than gorgeous MJ. That's up there too.
Okay. So I'm going to go with my top 3 in-ring match qualities, matches. And in this order, I think number 1 is going to be Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus. I think they're going to be the number 1 for me. Next, this one may surprise y'all, but I really think the Fatal 4-Way men's tag match is going to be my number 2. And then my number 3 is going to be Ray and Dominic. That's going to be my top 3 at the end of the day. Match quality, this is going to be the top 3 most solid matches. And that's why I said Roman and Cody.
Well, it had to be best. It wouldn't be solid. If you, I mean, out of these
best.
matches,
No,
13,
best. Yeah.
You're talking about bet. Yeah, for sure. And
No,
number 13 out of 13
best.
matches advertised for you, the worst is going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
No, it's not going to be, because we have the women's tag team match that we have. That's going to probably be worse than Roman and Cody. And there's probably going to be some other stuff. But no, that's my top 3. I think at the end of the day, we're going to walk away from it. We're going to say, wow, those 3 blew me away. So maybe it kind of bled into your final question. Okay. But I think that's going to be, for me, what I take back. Like, wow, these matches, these were my favorite.
Got it. Okay. E, what do you call in as your top 3 matches?
Of course, the main event. I'm so invested in seeing the winner for this. The tag team, same reason. I'm definitely invested in seeing the winners of this one, and then also Dominic and Ray.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely, I gotta see the outcome of this match, and then I know we're going 3, but I gotta say again, the Finn Balor and Edge is my runner-up on all of that. Is
that your order? You're going Cody, Roman as what you think be the best in ring, then Usos, KO, Sammy, then Dom and Ray, and then Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, because it's tricky with the tag in the championship, right? Because I think you would think that the Usos, KO, and Sammy are going to deliver an awesome match. Maybe from a in-ring perspective, maybe the better match of the entire card. But I think what you get from a Roman match, especially what you got from that Sammy and Roman match, right? Just the sheer emotion and just the passion and energy you got from the crowd, like in the story he tells throughout the match. And Cody likes to do that too. So I think from a storytelling perspective, I think you're going to get a great story being told in that match. So I'm a story guy. So yeah, I might say the main event is going to be number 1 tag. I might switch the Edge and Finn as my 3rd. Because I think it's going to be an awesome spectacle, and it's going to be a great match with Finn and Edge in that match. Because I think Edge is going to let it all hang loose in this match, because I think he's going to go away for a while after this, right? So I think he's going to let it all hang loose in that match, and I think it's going to be a great showcase for those guys.
And I want to be clear, my second was the Fatal 4-Way tag match.
Yeah.
Just in case that wasn't clear. Okay.
Got you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go from best. I'm going to say Bianca Asuka, Roman Cody, and I think it would be a tie between Seth and Logan and the Usos, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. That's what I would call. So we'll see.
Awesome.
Will be very, very interesting. All right. Eshaun, you got anything else you want to share with the good folks at home before we get out of here?
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in to the Matt and Rhodesia Emergency Podcast when Matt does the apology Sunday morning. We're gonna have. I might actually edit some extra sound effects into this one. Like I might put like some crying and some tears, because here's the thing. I understand why Matt's one of his favorite artists is Michael Jackson, because he does the moonwalk. Because I think you're gonna see Matt doing some backtracking. So you got Mike MJ doing some moonwalking. You're gonna see Matt doing some backtracking, some apologizing. This is gonna be an awesome weekend, guys. Tune in. We got a lot of fun coming for you.
You hear this guy? This guy's absolutely. He acts like he's not gonna be on night 1 post show, right? He'll be there. And I'll be able to tell him again that, hey, what you saw tonight is nothing compared to when Roman... Man, I am going to lose my voice. I may get in a couple fights. If Roman legit wins, the people around us are going to hate me that day. So, if I don't make it to the pod is not loaded Monday morning, simply because I'm in jail. So, just stick with us. I'll get out eventually, and we'll pod again. All right, guys. Thank you for, of course, being with us. We talked about the Twitter already. That's an FNW. Tap into that. YouTube. We will have, of course, this show on YouTube in its totality. We probably won't put the post shows on YouTube. That will be audio only. But, of course, you guys know at That's Freaking Wrestling, we upload all of our full episodes every single week. Thank you guys for checking that out. And overall, just thank you for spreading the word and listening every single week. We appreciate you guys. We see you, so thank you for that. Once again, you guys will hear back from us Saturday night after night 1 of WrestleMania, and then we'll be right back after night 2 for WrestleMania. Until then, take care. We'll talk to you soon.